The Copa Oro is finally here. But before we get into that, welcome back to the Ladsfootyshow. I'm your host, Kiqs. I'm here with my co-host.
It's your boy, Gera Sexo. Brought the OG intro back because a couple of our Discord members were being nostalgic.
Yeah.
In some cases, yeah, they were mentioning like, oh, bring it back. So there it is for you guys. But lads, again, like Keeks mentioned, today we'll be previewing the Copa Oro, more emphasized on the selección and obviously our possible opponents in the final, USA, Canada. But before we get into this video, make sure you guys are subbed. Content is coming and is banging. Make sure you drop a like and comments. Also, quick announcement. If you guys are attending any Copa Oro games or the following, the opener against Dominican Republic, the Vegas game versus Costa Rica. And if we get to the final, which is going to be in Houston,
right? Energy Stadium, yeah.
We'll be there as well. So if you guys are going to any of those games, make sure you guys keep a lookout for myself, Keeks for the Vegas one, and I'll be around a couple other content creators, Fútbol Asada, Charla Football, the Give and Go themselves. So I'm looking forward to a very, very good and fun Copa Oro. Alrighty. Now let's get into the breakdown. 4 groups. We'll be going over each group and then giving out who we think will proceed from each group and so forth. Right? Okay, Group A. And it's, ironically, Mexico's in this group. First group, we have Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, and Suriname. Obviously with Mexico. Out of these two, out of this group, what are the two that you see following leading into the next round?
For starters, I think anything below first place for Mexico would look bad.
100%.
I think the standard that Mexico needs to produce for the Copa Oro is just so much more higher than everyone else's.
Yeah.
Mainly more having to do with that we're World Cup host, but also we're still not 100% yet. We're still not 100% ready. We're still not using our best squad. We don't even know what our best squad is yet.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think we need to figure this out now. And we need to produce. We need to show that we're capable of at least running through these type of teams that we more than likely will not see at the World Cup.
That's the standard. The standard is Mexico belt to assing, spanking, and just running through these opponents in the Copa Oro because
3 out of 3.
3 out of 3. We're the Nations League champions. We're the Copa Oro champions. And we need to, like he said, come to these games and really show out prior to the World Cup. And if we do such and such, I will have a better feeling going into this World Cup. But Mexico, first place. Second place, I think Costa Rica and Piojo. Costa Rica have been cooking, right, dude. Huh?
Wow.
Piojo, full circle. We come with him. Now he's on
some shit.
And that's we saw it with Tena, we saw it with Piojo, we saw it with a couple of managers. It's the regular. These Mexicans out in the other nations, and we can't get ourselves a Mexican manager ourselves, which is kind of crazy. But I'm going Mexico first place. I'm going to give Costa Rica the props. This is Dominican Republic's first ever Copa Oro, so I'm not expecting too much from them. They're not a footballing country, by the way, the baseball only. And Suriname, I have nothing to say about Suriname. I don't know if you agree with me.
It's their second ever Copa Oro. I think their first one was in 2021, I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
But also, it'd probably be the same scenario for both of them. While I would like to see Dominican Republic do pull out an upset and maybe make their way out of this group.
I'd be happy for them.
For their first time ever, that'd be cool. They'd beat the baseball nation allegations probably just a little bit. But ultimately, I think it is going to just be easily Costa Rica and Mexico.
Yeah. Group B, we have Canada, Curaçao, El Salvador, and Honduras. Now, looking at this group right away, I'm looking at Honduras. I need Honduras to show me that they're not just ass year after year. All right, because as we can see, there's a clear favorite to finish in the first spot in every group so far. With Canada. Canada, again, that's another nation that needs to show. Another host nation for the World Cup that needs to show up as well.
Quite frankly, I think I see Canada doing a better job of showing out than the U.S.
Oh, yes.
I back Jesse Mars way more than I back Mauricio Pochettino. I think the side that the U.S. has brought with them, once again, snubbing Cendejas, I just don't think they're going to produce anything. What I do like about Canada is that Jesse Mars has brought back to life what Canada had. Yeah. They weren't as good of a squad. Obviously, the Nations League wasn't as competitive as they wanted to be. Raul Jimenez gave them belt to ass, but I do still think they can confidently go through this group stage and easily make at least a semifinal.
I would hate to play Canada in a semifinal.
Think so?
Oh, I would hate it.
I think everyone would hate to play Mexico. I think it's the opposite.
Yeah, but I'd rather have Canada in a final than have them earlier, one step earlier.
Okay,
prior.
I get you.
I just for some reason it would have some shivers to me. But yes, like you said, the Canada is a shroud. They're a host nation and they need to get the job done. Better managed than USA. USA is our shit show, but we'll get into them later. I have Canada finishing first and Honduras second. I'm counting on Honduras.
While I think the second place is wide open for whoever. Curaçao, El Salvador, and Honduras. I don't think either of these teams are really better than each other. And I think I'm going to go El Salvador. I think El Salvador make it out of this group.
Group C. La Virgen de Guadalupe, Guatemala. Guadalupe, they're like a French territorial country, whatever. Jamaica and Panama. This one's more so favored to Jamaica. Depending, I haven't seen Jamaica's roster actually. Are they bringing in?
I heard Greenwood's gonna be in the. I heard Greenwood might possibly be in the.
Is there a squad roster? It should be confirmed by now.
Yeah, it's definitely confirmed.
I have not checked it.
He's probably not in it.
But if it's filled with ballers in the Prem, shit, I don't know. But I'm gonna go Jamaica, topping it off.
I think it goes just like that with Jamaica and Panama going through. Yeah. I don't think Guadalupe or Guatemala make anything.
Fair. Group D. Now this is USA's. We have USA, Saudi Arabia, who are the special guest of this year's Copa Oro.
Guest.
Money
laundering.
Yeah. Trinidad y Tobago and Haiti. We're saying it off cameras right now. Is it a shock? Would it be a shock? Would you be surprised if USA for some reason come out third place in this group following their two disaster class friendlies?
I never really I sometimes try not to let the score, speak for the majority for the game. Especially friendlies. But USA look disastrous. USA look like they're not ready to compete, like they don't want to compete, like they're not here for anything. They don't have the players, there's not enough fire.
No Pulisic, no McKennie, no Adams. There's a lot of players not on this list.
Everything that we shit on for the Selección Mexicana for doing, USA is quite possibly in the exact same boat.
And I would say doing it worse.
Probably.
We know the Selección Mexicana has drama with the board and managers and federation over the past 10 years. But USA is just as bad, man.
And it doesn't seem like it's getting any better. It just seems like they're digging themselves a deeper and deeper and deeper hole.
I was told not too long ago that this was USA's golden generation.
Yikes.
And that golden generation lasted 2 years. 2 years, that's what I'm gonna say. And that's being pretty nice.
And their biggest accomplishment was just beating us in the Nations League.
That's
it.
They had
nothing else to prove.
Literally.
Nothing else to prove.
They were shit in the Copa America. They didn't do much in the Copa Oro last year. They lost to Panama. Oh my God, they lost to Panama.
Like the third time they lost to Panama.
Terrible in the World Cup as well. I mean, the best nation in the World Cup from CONCACAF was Canada. That's
even worse.
It's even worse. But we've took a step forward and USA hasn't.
Granted, it's not the biggest step forward.
Yeah, it's not.
We're moving.
But we found our feet again.
Yes, some way, shape, or form we have. While USA still continue to try to even figure out what they got going on, where they can even start. So for them to for us to say that it's a possibility that they don't make it out of this group, it's really not crazy. It's really not crazy at all.
I have Saudi finishing first, and the second place would go. It's a coin flip between USA and Trinidad. I'm gonna go USA. I wouldn't be surprised if Trinidad finished second.
I think this is quite possibly the worst squad that Pochettino could have brought out.
Yeah.
I think majority of those players, of the professional and elite level players, quote unquote, that the United States has and chose not to support or even, wear the badge for the season or whatever they had going on. I don't take any of that shit. I saw McKennie, trying to back up Pulisic for what Landon Donovan had mentioned about him. Yeah. But at the same time, you have look at the European side of it. You had majority of those PSG players that had just won a Champions League, mind you. We had a majority of these players, Portuguese players, that even went on tour. Bruno Fernandes still finished the season and then went on a fucking Asia tour and still went to go play the Nations League.
That's so true.
Vitinha had just finished winning the Champions League. Nuno Mensch had just finished winning the Champions League. And these guys didn't take a break. And the Selección said, hey, I want you guys to come represent your fucking nation. And within a heartbeat, they went. They took the first plane they possibly could.
That's the bare minimum.
And that's where the United States is sitting at right now, where the players don't even want, or it looks like at least that the players don't even want to represent their nation anymore.
Sad case from couldn't be us, Lance. Just Carlos Vela, but that was it. Just Carlos Vela, to be honest. But speaking about Carlos Vela and the selección, the deep dive for selección and the Copa Oro starts now. What are you hoping that the lineup looks like in the Copa Oro? Because I know what I want to see in the Copa Oro.
Do you? Because I don't. I don't even.
I do. I want to go. I'm gonna give Malagon his flowers. I think Malagon is the right man for the job at the goalkeeper position. So I'm gonna go Malagon goalkeeper. I really liked what I saw from Isra. He was playing center back against Turkey, but I'm gonna push him at the right back.
Okay.
Isra, Johan Vasquez, Cesar Montes, Mateo Chavez.
Yeah,
I think that's the best defensive lineup that we can get, because even if Mateo Chavez does go up the field, Isra shifts in as a third center back. And what? We're chilling.
Yeah.
Especially when these games, you're asking for goals. I think Mateo Chavez helps you out on that. Midfield, okay. I think it's a 4-4-2. I think that's what it's going to be. It's what the two games what Vasco showed us. I'm going to go Marcel Ruiz and Edson Alvarez. Left mid, right mid is where it's unknown for me.
Okay.
In those two positions. On the wide areas for Mexico, I don't know who will be playing where and who Vasco will be selecting. But I would personally select Piojo Alvarado on the right and Chino Huerta on the left.
No Vega.
Vega's had his opportunities and he hasn't done shit.
It's because we didn't play him when he was sober. He blacked out.
The beer belly came back in.
After the campeonato.
The beer belly came back in. And the front two, I'm going to go Raul and Santi. I think that's the set lineup, and that's what I think it should be. I don't know if you agree with me. Who would you move?
See, that's where I'm really trying to figure out. I think if I'd move anything, I think it quite possibly be the formation itself.
Me too.
Because it does seem like every time we play the two-striker formation, it seems like one of them is just much more lackluster than the other.
Yes.
They don't really seem to get involved into the game as much as they possibly can.
When I see Raul and Santi up top in a two, it's like I'm seeing the same player. They don't no se juntan bien los dos, right? They don't create movement for one, they don't create a run for the other, and one doesn't give the ball well to the other, and vice versa. I feel like them as a pair, as a combination, don't play together as well as it should be.
And you would still have them as the front two then?
And I still have them as front two, but they're there because when they get the chances, they tend to take advantage of them. But am I happy with what the two are doing together? Not really, to be honest. Not really.
It's been a couple games that we have played these guys together already, and it doesn't seem like we have gotten them to click. Rather, while I do give them the benefit of the doubt, and I do agree that those first two games, they had Charlie fucking behind them. Mm-hmm. So, what else are you going to do with Charlie behind you as a midfielder, as a chance creator? But I think maybe a three midfield. I feel like just getting one extra midfielder that can probably do a little bit more dirty work than Marcelo and Edson and give them a bit of more freedom to,
if the midfield turns into a 3-man midfield, it's going to be Edson, Lira, and Marcel.
You think Vasco is going to leave out Charlie if he plays a 3 midfield?
Lira comes in and immediately you could feel the presence.
Lira was
impact.
Lira was really good.
Lira was good in both games.
Yeah,
Lira was solid in both games.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I really don't mind him. I'm not gonna lie.
Remember, Charlie didn't play in the final when we won. Damn, Charlie got subbed off at halftime or 10 minutes after halftime in the semifinal, and we won.
Didn't start. You're right.
So maybe the time is coming to an end for Charlie in terms of minutes and game time. Hopefully. If we do change to a 3-man midfield, it would sacrifice one striker, and that's where I feel like Vasco wouldn't sub or bench one of the two Jimenez's. I feel like it would take a lot from him to really tell one of those two, yeah, you're getting benched. So I don't see it. I really don't see it.
I'd fucking bench the shit out of Santi, but that's.
And I don't think because Huescas isn't in the squad roster, I don't see a back 3 or 5.
Okay.
Because if there was, who's playing on that position?
Yeah, I get you.
Not Jorge. Not Isra, to be honest. It'd have to be like an attackive. Probably Piojo.
Shit, we'd probably play Araujo.
Probably Piojo Araujo. Yeah, I forgot about Araujo. Didn't even play, did he? He didn't play for 2 friendlies. That's something else.
I feel like Vasco doesn't really understand how much little time we have. Obviously, he does. He's a fucking professional coach. Who am I to say? Mm-hmm. But it's from the outside perspective, it is looking like we're running out of time. Like quicker and quicker.
Yeah.
And it seems like as closer and closer as the World Cup gets, we still don't even have a solidified starting 11.
Like Vasco said he only has 10 players that who he really thinks have a spot in the World Cup, which is crazy. I mean, the World Cup squads are 28 players.
We have barely about a year left.
Yeah. And we have these Copa Oro matches and we have 2 more friendlies, I believe. Actually, no. We have the Japan game and another nation. And then we have the 2 friendlies in Mexico.
I feel like we'd probably get
we have
one
like
or
4
2
games.
More friendlies.
Yeah,
but still, those are just friendlies. These aren't games that are going to get us competitively ready for the World Cup. You know, we need to start taking advantage of the opportunities that we're given. As a host nation, we're not going to play any fucking international games. Every international game we're playing is a friendly, apart from the Copa Oro.
I know, but now those friendlies start to tune in and feel like a World Cup preview.
That's what I mean, though. Like we need to start using it and playing it as a World Cup qualifier.
Okay.
Because we're running out of time and we can't just be using them as friendlies as Mex Tour, sellouts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because this is what it is. It's Mex Tour right now.
That's all it is.
And I would agree with you because we're also mentioning it off cameras. Vasco is still trying things out with the players, experimenting. And right now, we should be at the stage where Vasco should have his set 11 that who he really sees in the World Cup be playing and featuring in these friendlies and in the Copa Oro and the friendlies after the Copa Oro. From now, I think that moment should have started this weekend. This week, it should have been displayed and showed to me that this is a set lineup and it should have been repeated even if we play the same guys within 4 days.
Both Switzerland and Turkey brought their European players, their Champions League playing players.
And we saw with Switzerland. Switzerland beat USA, beat Mexico with a breeze. Turkey did lose to us, and I feel like we were actually better than Turkey. I feel like second half was
we had a better second half. The first half was all Turkey, and surprisingly, we still took the lead.
I don't know. I'm pretty fired up about the World Cup. Like dude, it's in our we're hosting the fucking World Cup, man.
Bro. We got to represent some way, shape.
We don't know if we're gonna host another World Cup in our lifetime.
Yeah, no shit.
That's another thing. So I mean, I'm gonna be at the World Cup, lads. So that's the thing.
That's
the thing. I really need to see a better Mexico, but I'm happy that we won at least one of these games. But the Copa Oro will tell us more, lads. The Copa Oro will tell us more.
This is the competitive. This is the competitive, quote unquote, because the teams obviously aren't as good as the friendly teams we just faced. But this is the standard we need to set. We need to run through the group. And quite frankly, I think we just need to win this Copa Oro with ease. I don't think there should be a single team in the CONCACAF that should be competing against us.
If we lose the Copa Oro, it's a fracaso. And if Javier Aguirre fracasa, it's not going to be a fun year remaining for the World Cup. Because the pressure is already on. But the pressure is going to be more on.
Build up more and more.
It's going to build up. And the players are going to feel the pressure. And then we're going to crumble when it comes to the World Cup. And we're going to lose our home opener.
Wow. If we actually do that, it'd be probably be the worst situation ever.
I really wonder what Vasco, we know Vasco to be as a very aggressive and like a spoken manager, right? But I really wonder what he tells his players. Like, do you really see it? I don't know. I need Mexico to wake up. That's pretty much moral of the story, lads.
I think he does too, though.
Right?
Oh shit. While I'm also like, questioning what he's got going on in his head, I do feel like Vasco does have that idea lingering, somewhere behind in the back of his head that's like, fuck, I'm running out of time and I still don't really have my set 11. Yeah. So this Copa Oro, we need the best 11 we possibly can for him, and we need to dominate.
And test it to a serious no. And if you're going to play the 4-4-2 now and you've been playing it the past couple games, stick with it. Stick with it all the way to the World Cup. And if you don't like it, work on it like now, ASAP, because now is the time. Because now these sorry nations are going to be the ones that we can at least try to compete.
This isn't the time. While it's normally the time for experimenting with the Copa Oro, we don't have time. We need to find our best 11 and we need to dominate.
The bare minimum, lads, is Mexico versus Copa Oro. Bare minimum. That is a standard, and that is what we should all expect viewing this video. Let us know if you guys agree, disagree. Let us know what lineup and players you would like to see to be featured in the Copa Oro. Let us know about your thoughts about the friendlies and anything Mex related. We know that we read the comments. Appreciate all the love, lads. We will be catching you guys soon. Closure real quick.
We'll be in LA. Well, I won't be. I have some family stuff to go on. I will be there. I'll be definitely in the Vegas game.
One.
And hopefully we can get you guys in some of the games.
The final. Real quick. If you guys see me, make sure you guys pull up because we'll be doing content outside the stadium and the pregame with me as well, and the pregame interviews. Post-game interviews will be active. So if you guys are going to be out in LA, Vegas, make sure you guys keep an eye out for us.
All right.
That being said,
we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.